Thank you, sir. Are we recording?
We are recording.
We recording me talking there saying about the scallops?
Possibly. I can't remember what happened first, if I started or we talked about scallops.
Doesn't matter. As long as the people know that I'm a man of class.
You are a man of class. I've always thought you were a man of class.
Listen, I'm a man of sophisticated taste.
I think
I like scallops.
there's dare I call it a bit of racism follows you around, where they think a man of your kind can't be a man of class. And I say, whenever I hear that, no, how dare you insult my friend in such a way?
It's an old-fashioned way.
Yes.
An old-fashioned way of thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
I was saying this to a couple of boys I was chatting to earlier on. We're fucking hard-working men.
You bust my bit.
I will.
Thank you.
We're hard-working men. I'm not going to go into the line of work that we're in, but we're hard-working men.
Who, you and me, or people in general, or the people you work with?
I'm talking about the people I work with.
Okay, not me then.
You're a hard-working man too. Don't get
Am
me
I?
wrong. I'm not belittling your work ethic. All I'm saying is the things that we do. It requires a lot of. It's taxing
Yeah,
mentally and physically, right?
yeah. I wouldn't want to do what you do.
There was a man who was
I
a.
wouldn't be able to.
There was a man called Jim Larkin who was a Labour leader in Ireland
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. We're talking like 1910s. He masterminded the 1913 Dublin lockout, which was a huge mass industrial action, right?
Yeah.
In Dublin, whilst Ireland was still under the control of London, the whole of Ireland, right?
Right.
And this man was questioned once because he was a great socialist, a
Mhm.
great believer in emancipation of the working class and things like this. And he was asked once, how do you justify the fact that you're sitting there smoking big Cuban cigars? He was a great man for a Cuban cigar, which are notoriously quite spenny,
Yeah.
right? And he used to love a good vintage of a whiskey,
Okay.
a nice drink. And his reply was, Jim Larkin, his reply was, why should the working man not be entitled to the finer things in life? How is it that
Ooh.
we can't, the people who toil and work hard, aren't entitled to the nice things in life? Is it only for the people who don't do no fucking work at all? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good. I
Do you know what
like
I'm
that.
saying?
That's
So
a
the
good
boys who work
ethic.
hard, the boys, and not just the boys, the people in
Mhm.
general who work hard are entitled to the finer things in life too. Let me tell you, boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can get behind that.
how did I get onto that subject? I can't remember.
I can't remember now either.
Anyway,
We have to be careful on
what
this
a
visual
start.
podcast that these shorts don't ride up too high, and maybe a bit of brain will fall out, and it might get caught on the camera.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I should
Did
have.
you remember? Did you ever watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the cartoon? Was that? Did anybody ever watch
No,
that?
I didn't.
I think I inherited these. Inherited the people didn't die who gave them to me, but my big cousins gave me these video VHS tapes when I was a
Yeah.
little boy. The cartoon Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
were into
I
that.
remember them. Yeah.
Do you remember the brain fella?
Oh, who lived in the belly?
Lived in the belly. That's
Yeah.
That's what your
Okay, that's what's going to happen
that's
to
what your
me.
bollock would look like.
But wasn't he in
on the
Total
sleigh.
Recall as well? Well, no, there's a baby who lived in a man's belly in Total Recall.
Yeah, but it was similar, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Similar, but very similar.
Same writer, probably.
Aye, the wee head, the wee baby comes out of the body.
Yeah.
Kang or something, is it? Is it Kang?
That might be
call him?
someone completely different.
Oh, the Kang's the one
yeah,
that they call the
yeah.
Ninja
You're
Turtle
crossing
one.
them all over here.
Anyway, hello and welcome to another episode of the Breakfast Beers podcast. You're very welcome. People are delighted to be here.
Yeah.
Aren't they? All four of them.
We're slowly getting back into a routine, I feel, Michael. Yeah, it did drop down a bit because we dropped out a bit.
We did.
But we're slowly getting back into a routine. As I was explaining to you before the podcast started, there might be a solution where Daddy ends up not working for the month of August, but still getting a fair bit of money.
The horizon. Say nothing.
Yeah.
Till you're told more.
I'm working my magic.
Mm-hmm.
But if that happens, then I can boost us.
You could boost us up.
I can boost us up.
Big
Yeah,
time.
I'll work some of my tech magic on the internet.
Yeah.
Press some buttons, upload some pictures in all the right places. Maybe a GIF.
Push it to the limit.
I'll push us up there. Yep, and I'll
Big
get us
time.
out. But until then, we do need to structure the podcast a bit. We should probably get an intro because
An
at the
intro.
moment
You saw me. We missed the intro there. Like.
Yeah, well, the intro is unofficially me handing you a state-of-the-art microphone and then you asking, "Are we recording?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah. Would you not have learned by now that when I walk out and sit down next to you, we've started recording.
I know, but the thing is, Tom,
You're unsure.
my mind often be on. It could be anywhere
Do
at
you know what it
any given
is?
time.
Do you know what it is? You know we're recording,
Yes,
but you ask anyway because you don't trust yourself. And do you know what that is?
it's because I know the camera's on me.
It's your latent Catholic guilt, Michael.
I'm bashful. They call me Baby Bashful.
It's your Catholic guilt. You have to
Catholic
trust
guilt.
yourself. But
You think I've got Catholic guilt? I definitely do have Catholic guilt.
you do
There's
have
no two
Catholic
ways about
guilt.
it.
You always ask me if we're recording.
I want to make sure nobody's watching. You're always looking over your shoulder. If you've
They're
got
always
Catholic guilt,
watching.
you're always like, Jesus, what's around the corner?
So this is
Fucking hell.
one of the bad things about living in Spain, ladies and gentlemen, is Spanish paedophiles. It's a phenomenon that I've made up in my head.
Spanish
Where,
pedophiles.
yeah, I think because there's too many windows when you live in a area that's mostly flats. There's far too
Yeah.
many windows, and you can't keep an eye on them all at the same time. Where we come from, terraced houses,
Okay.
you know, you can sort of lean out of your upstairs bathroom
But wouldn't
and
that
look
be the
out.
same in any big metropolitan city? No.
Probably, yeah.
But you're just thinking of cities, Tom. In
Yes,
general,
yes. But I like
the,
to
the, the
classify them
secret
locally.
pedo
So
in a tower
there's
block.
London paedophiles in built-up areas of London. Cairo.
Yes.
I went to Cairo. That's a very big.
I mean, you
Egyptian
couldn't move for
paedophiles.
them.
You can spot the Egyptian paedophiles because they walk like that.
It's very funny.
Imagine getting chased by the Egyptian police. Come back here!
Wait here till I get you. Be gone.
You won't get away.
Like Linford Christie. Huh?
Excellent.
Fucking hell. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, okay. Pedophiles, something to worry about.
Oh,
Keep your eye
hang
on
on.
them.
What I don't mean paedophiles. Those are the people who fuck kids. Who are the ones who are always looking? Not peeping.
Peeping Toms.
Not peeping toms, but it's when you get a kick out of it.
What do you get a kick out of it? Didn't Peeping Toms not get a kick out of it?
Yeah, they do. But there's a wider,
Voyeur.
maybe voyeurs.
Is that the one?
Yeah, but it begins with P.
Voyeur.
I can't remember what
P?
it is.
Pederast? That's a different thing, though.
No,
Isn't that?
that's a paedophile
Isn't
again.
that like a pedophile?
That's a paedophile from the Middle Ages.
This is going to be so like demonetized and shit.
Yeah,
like,
well,
this video because
at the-
let's face it, we're making a fortune from these
at the rate we're
videos.
going, we're not going to get monetized this millennium.
What I'm trying to pervert.
Yes, pervert's the word I
Pervert.
meant. I meant pervert.
Pervert.
Yeah.
Come on, you're old coming to garden pervert.
They're fine.
Oh, shit, I better put this. This has been in shot.
oh, no.
Speaking of perverts,
Okay.
no, that's just our list of things to talk about.
We're
Anyway,
talking about that.
continue. What was your thoughts about the pervert situation?
Oh,
Are we inundated with perverts
Well,
these
you
days?
never know. You never know where they are. Can you count all the windows?
I mean, let's not do it. But
Yes.
I mean, I could,
It would
but
take
I
it to-
won't.
Yes, you can't monitor them all at once. Is the point I'm trying to make.
There was a window there in one of our previous podcasts. It was before we had video.
Oh, what
It was back in the audio days.
the young lady
Do you
came
remember
out?
the naked lady?
Naked lady.
There was
Yeah.
a naked man too, but
Yeah.
we couldn't see anything of him, just his torso. We saw
No.
her what would you say? Her breasts, I
Yes,
suppose,
yeah.
is the correct
Yes.
scientific term. The breasts,
And I haven't seen her
and
since.
they had no fear in them at all. They
No.
were delighted to be showing us.
Well, I haven't seen her since, which makes me wonder maybe she was a kidnapping victim
Jesus.
or a working woman.
Do you think so?
I don't know. She was a lot younger than him.
This might go. This might have
Let's
to
stop
go.
talking about this.
This might have to go. Anyway, Tom, how's your week been?
Oh no, the notes have changed pages, and now we're talking about
Oh, that's
something
last
else.
week's.
Let's
That's
recreate
last
last week's award-winning
bollocks.
podcast. Mine's
Okay.
been okay.
How's the week been? Have you been keeping well?
Yeah, so I'm on a big calorie deficit now.
Well, that was on the list of things to talk about. So you're on a
That's not what
calorie
it says.
deficit now. You're
Yeah.
starving yourself.
Yeah, it's hard, but I managed to do it 3 out of 5 days.
Wow, that's good,
Yeah,
man.
the other 2 I've eaten ice cream and chocolate.
You see, I find that very difficult in my line of work because I don't really get to choose. Well, I suppose to a certain extent I do get to choose, but yeah, come here to me now. Are you a Kate Moss man now? Is that it? Nothing feels as good as skinny or nothing. What's the word?
But nothing
Something about
looks
skinny.
as good as skinny feels.
That's the one.
No, I'm not a Kate Moss because I'm starving all the time. Trying to adjust my body to the lower amount of calories I
I'm
need.
trying to think if you lot. I mean,
No, I haven't.
small, but
really lost visible amounts. I mean, I've lost about a kilo, I'd say, of good weight. The rest is
Good
water.
weight. I suppose around your face you look you look thinner.
That's because I shaved.
You know, like your neck and
Mm.
your face looks thinner.
The issue is because I just sit there all day. That's where I work there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I sleep just up there. So I don't really burn that many calories, except for when I go to the gym. So I have to do that. So then I have to be very careful about how much I eat because it doesn't really take much
Ah, mate.
food to knock
Trust
me
me.
flying.
You're treating. You're speaking to the choir, boy.
Preaching
You
to the
are
choir.
speaking to the choir because I'm telling you right now, boy. Trying to lose weight is a fucking nightmare.
It is.
Nightmare.
It's much easier to put it on than it is to lose it.
Big time. And I'm telling you, like, you need to be in the gym at least 3 times a week
Yeah.
and be watching everything you eat. Otherwise, you're not gonna lose it.
Well, I'm going 5 days a week now, but only doing half an hour at a time.
Uh,
Half an
See,
hour,
I don't have the
45
fucking
minutes.
time. I can't do. I like you know my work schedule.
Yeah.
I can't fucking go to the gym 5 times a week. It's just not possible.
There
I
isn't one.
could,
There isn't
and
one
I'd end
closer
up
to where you
fucking.
work.
Sorry.
There isn't one closer to where you
No,
work.
there isn't.
Because that'd be the way to do
I
it.
work. I work in the fucking middle of nowhere. Like
Yeah.
it's a fucking one horse. Like, don't get me started. Don't get me started in that old nonsense.
Change job, as I've been telling you. Get fired, change job.
Here, there'll be no change in job. They'll be building a podcast empire, like
Okay.
like like Brendan Schwab and boys and what's his name,
Well,
Joe Rogan,
Brendan Schwab ain't doing too well.
Joe Rogan, Bobby Lee, all those lads. What do they have that we don't have? Talent, I suppose.
Dollars as well. They're in the American
Talent,
economy.
yeah, talent,
Yeah.
connections,
Talent, dollars,
comedy, comic timing.
venture capitalism.
Mm.
I don't think many
We're
of them will
fucked.
last much
We're
longer.
fucked.
Yeah.
We've
What
no
we've done
chance.
is started a podcast probably at the beginning of the great decline of podcasts. So we're going to have to invent podcast 2.0.
We'll see whenever podcasts swing back up again. We're going to be at the top of the
Well, I
pyramid.
said at the beginning when we started this project, the ultimate goal I have is a fully immersive 5D experience. Did you see Apple release their new goggles?
I did.
We've got to get ourselves as the ambassadors for that project. We'll say we're going to create the first Apple online podcast experience where viewers can feel as though they're actually sitting here having a can with us, and they'll have a virtual can in their hands that they can pretend to drink, and it'll be like they're sitting right there.
I get you. There's something very sad about that.
Not for us though, for them.
Yeah, no. There's something deeply sad about that.
Yeah, that's how it's
Isn't
going to
it?
be though. That's what the future is.
And I get you. And people, I'm sorry to bring the mood down because I did just bring the mood down. But if you're having virtual cans with people and it's not like a Zoom lockdown scenario, that's
I
that's
mean,
time. That's time to take stock.
I think it's a good thing because, hear me out, I agree with everything you've just said. But listen, sometimes the herd needs to get thinned out.
Here we go. Here we go.
now, wouldn't it be good if all the boring people and all the Jobsworths and all the people who generally aren't good crack stayed in and had virtual cans with each other, and the big wide world where the men go to drink was left to just us?
When did they get to you? When did they get to you? They've gotten to you, haven't they?
Are they getting to you?
They've gotten to you. The big tech giants. Fucking QAnon job. The people QAnon are talking about, they've gotten to you.
Yeah.
You
Why?
want to make a global elite. That's what you're looking for, isn't it?
No,
Isn't it,
because
Tom?
I think
You want the underlings to stay where they are and to fucking do as they're told.
the tech giants will be the first people online having virtual cans.
He's been exposed.
There'll only be people like you and me down at the Dorsia on a Friday night.
The
Because
elite.
yeah, all the losers who take up our seats and take our tables will stay at home having virtual cans in the virtual Dorsia, and it'll just be us in the real Dorsia.
I mean, it's funny, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to happen, isn't it?
There'll always be people who want to engage in the real world, just the same way that there are still people who like going horseback riding. You don't need to do it anymore.
I mean, we speak as men who saw. Were you? Or maybe you weren't there. I was in a park in Barcelona a few weeks ago, and there's a famous monkey man.
I was there, yeah.
You were there.
Yeah.
The monkey man.
Yes, but he advertises his services. He advertises
On-
classes on how to be a monkey man on Instagram. Yeah, he has an iPhone.
There's a fella who who claims to reject society's norms and restraints and all that stuff, and he sort of lives as an ape. He like
Yeah,
goes on all fours,
climbs
scavenges
climbs
food,
trees. Yeah,
climbs trees. This is fucking legit. And yet he's got an Instagram where he's like, "Come and see the Ape Man," and he promos
yeah. It's
himself, and
he's not living in it. It's a marketing thing.
it's
Like
a marketing thing.
if he
It's
wants
true.
to live as an ape, he needs to move to
You
the
need to
fucking
have a
jungle.
brand, a personal
Yeah,
brand, Tom.
he's branded himself. Now, is he a cunt? Yes. Like, is it a real brand? No. Does it sell? Yes. Who does it sell to? Fucking idiots.
This is it. There are man, as long as there's a price tag and people willing to pay it,
Yeah.
things will be this madness will
Tell you what, Michael.
continue.
Here's what we'll do. When we get famous, when we start, we got a little bit of Patreon going. We're making, we haven't quit our jobs. We're making a tidy sum of money. We'll do an event, and we'll call it the Bottomless Breakfast Beers Brunch. The Bottomless Breakfast Beers Brunch.
I like the sound of this
Yeah.
event.
And we will just say to people, 50 quid a ticket, unlimited mimosas, have Eggs Benedict with us, and then we'll be there. That'll be our brand. We'll make millions doing that, man.
Like it, for example, if we were to become somewhat bigger than we are, like
Very
for
easy.
example, if your short videos that you made from our podcast were to be translated into podcast viewership, right? For
Mm-hmm.
example, right?
Yes.
For example, and we had, who do you think showing up to our event? Like, what kind of people?
Well, it's going to have to be here. So realistically, it's going to be a bunch
Well,
of
it's going to be
expats.
expats.
Yeah. It's not going to be the locals, is it? They're going to hate us.
Is it going to be the creme de la creme? Is it going to be banter merchants? Or is it going to be people who really secretly despise us?
I think it's always going to be secretly people who despise us. Yeah.
People are going to hate us, aren't they?
Well, I think we're probably, no, we're not hateable. We're just, I think it's very frustrating for the viewers not being able to talk to us while we're doing this.
Yeah, people often say that.
Yeah,
Like, people listen, go, it's annoying listening to you talk shit and not be able to interject
exactly. It's
and stop you from talking shit.
keep going. I'm joking.
You'll be all right.
Yes, it is annoying for them. But that's part of the brand. We're doing branding. As
We're
a
building our brand.
good friend of us once said, it's like having a pint with your best mates, but you're gagged.
mute.
Yeah, you're mute. You can't say anything. Like a bad dream.
Yeah.
This podcast. It's not a nightmare. It's a bad dream.
And you can't run away.
You're sitting there watching your two best friends
Yeah.
broadcast terrible opinions out into the world, and you're trying to stop them. You're saying,
Yes.
"Don't accuse all Japanese people of cannibalism. You got no proof it happened, Tom." And I'm there just going,
on.
"Oh, well, World War II, Amelia Earhart." That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's
That
it's
is
just
what
a
it
bad
is.
dream for people, and some people are into that, just like some people are into scary movies and roller coasters.
Stick with us, is what we're saying.
I think so.
Stick with us. There's something brewing.
I don't know what we're saying. I don't even know what I'm saying when I start talking.
It's hard to know. It's hard to
Mm.
fathom. But listen, together, we will make it right.
Something will happen.
Now, Tom,
You got a
that
gripe?
was the introduction.
Before you start gripping, can I have another beer? I've sank mine
Can,
already.
yeah. I'm gonna put my spectacles on so I can read
Your gripping spectacles.
my gripping spectacles.
Your grippers. Your gripers?
Get that nice can of red standard into you, boy,
Cool.
and say no more about it. So we have Mike's Gripes. Mike's Gripes. Hello and welcome to another edition of Mike's Gripes. We've had some decent gripes lately. People have been liking the gripes. Last week's gripe went down a storm.
It was a good gripe.
People love that gripe
Mhm.
about the cyclists and the general fucking annoying bastards that they are.
They should
right?
all be destroyed.
So this week we're talking. The problem with this gripe is it may be Barcelona specific, but we'll chance it anyway.
Okay.
We'll chance it. I was in the supermarket the last day there, boy.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
I'm going into a fancy supermarket.
It's the one where you get your pistachio smoothie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You only go there. You only go there for your bits.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not
You
going
don't do a
there-
big shop there.
100%. I've
Yeah.
already done my big shop. I was at
Be a,
Consum.
be an absolute fool to do your big shop there.
You'd be a brain dead moron,
Mm-hmm.
which is like half the fucking middle class wankers you
Don't
see walking around in
don't
there.
tell me someone did the big shop there and got in front of you in the queue.
I mean, that's happened, trust me. But this is not the grape.
Good.
So, Tom, picture the scene. This fucking place. It's the place. It's the Marks and Spencers. It's the Waitrose. It's that of Spain. And I've said it, or fucking Barcelona. I don't even know if they're in the rest of Spain. It's quite Catalan, isn't it? This
I don't
place.
even know.
What's it called? I don't even know what it's called. It's got this
I can't
weird name.
pronounce the name. It begins with an A.
Amier or something.
It's
Amier Origin. It's called,
Alamitler. I
right?
think.
Wankers. Right. Anyway, listen. The people who work there are sound. To be fair, the people
Yes.
who work there are working class, nice, sound, dead on. People who go there to shop, I know I include myself in this, are wankers. But like, they're going there to shop with their big shop. I'm only going in there for my bits. I promise. I'm going there for my pistachio fucking
Smoothing.
what's it called? Smoothie
Smoothing.
and my cheddar cheese, right?
Okay, good.
They do an English cheddar there,
Yeah. Really?
okay?
What, Cathedral
And this
City?
no
Oh,
better. It's called Wix,
Wicks.
right?
Okay.
It's purple packaging,
I'll keep an
and
eye out for it. It's the only
it,
place that does
it it's like real, like fucking mature as your fucking granny's aunt. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Mature.
Okay. It's
You know what
mature
I'm
cheddar.
saying?
It's mature cheddar.
It's fucking gorgeous.
Okay.
But you only get a wee small packet of it, and it's a wee bit spenny.
Uh,
But you're willing to spend it because
because it's good.
that's all you're buying.
Yeah, yeah.
You get in there and it lasts you a whole week. It
Okay.
lasts you a week and a half if you're being sensible.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a cheese fiend and you come out from a night out and you're like, oh, give me that cheese, and you know what I'm saying? You're
Yes,
going
yes.
mad on the cheese. So it's gonna last you. So I spice it. Me and her are in there doing the shop the other day, and it says 2 for 5 on the SEL, the
Mm-hmm.
shelf edge label. I used to work at a supermarket in
Using
the
the lingo now.
shelf edge label department.
Price tag.
I was the fucking king of price integrity,
Okay.
right? In Tesco Letterkenny, people will tell you. I used to stomp the fucking the aisles, stomp the aisles, changing the
I thought you were going to
SELs.
say stomp the cockroaches between the aisles.
Well, I might have done that a wee bit too. I was an everyman in that shopping centre,
Yes.
right? Changing the self-edge labels.
Mm-hmm.
This one says 2 for 5. I'm thinking, fucking elected prime minister,
Yeah.
great deal.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like nearly £4 for just that one wee bit. Like, and it's not even like way at home you get like a proper block. It's like half a proper block. It's not even
Okay.
that much. Like, so I was like, fucking nice one. So I says to her, Jesus, we'll get 2 of them. And we got one other thing. So literally we're buying 3 things because you couldn't. You need a fucking mortgage to buy a big shop there. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Yes.
2 for 5,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I go up to the fucking up to the the the, the, the
The woman
checkout or whatever, right?
or the man.
It happened to be a woman,
Okay. Yeah.
right? And she's dinging it through the system.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes to me, "Oh, that'll be €8 or like close to €8." And I says, "Sorry, ocho euro." I said, "Oh, sorry, excuse me. It said 2 for 5
Yeah.
on the SEL on the shelf edge." So, "Oh, uh, pero necesitas tarjeta
Cliente.
tarjeta cliente." And I was like, "Excuse me, necesitas tarjeta cliente? Tarjeta cliente is client card,
Club card. Yeah.
club card." And I says, "Hold on a wee second here. Are you serious?" She says, "See, claro." I was like, "Well, I'll take one. I'm not taking the two." I took the one. I said, "Hold on a second." And I says to her, "Can you believe that? Can you believe that?" She said, "Oh, that's very typical here."
Did it say on the label that you needed your tarjeta cliente?
Listen, you've seen my glasses. These are curved clickers, and I can see things. And I'm telling you right now, there was nothing that I could see with these fine spectacles on that could lead a man to realize that he was going to be fucking duped when he got to the fucking
Oh,
Get out of it. You fucking mutt. Who's that?
It's a friend of mine, friend of the podcast, actually.
So you
Be
can
quiet.
imagine.
Be quiet. You've gone over.
You can imagine my chagrin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the.
2 for 5 on the fucking thing, and I swear to fuck, you'd have to get your monocle or your what do you call the thing, the magnifying a magnifying glass out to see the. Oh, you have to be a client.
Also,
See people, see companies who do that. See these grocery companies who do that. You're rats, and that should be taken up by European Court or European Commission of Consumer Rights. I've
so
said my piece. That's Mike's grapes.
okay. Let's go over this. So it did actually say on the label that you do need a.
Well, she seems to think it would have said it if you had a look, like fucking duck down and go, oh, fucking 2 for 5. Listen, mate, you see 2 for 5 for cheese in a supermarket. You think you're getting 2 for 5? Yes or no? Yes
Well,
or no? Don't
yes.
make excuses for
Yeah.
these dickheads.
No, because Michael, I'm gonna.
Fucking
You know.
what?
You know. I love you,
I know you do, yeah.
but
I
I'm
love
gonna
you
say
too.
it. I think. I think your gripe this week might be that you're not reading too good.
I read well. I'm a good reader.
I'm gonna go
My,
to
my
this.
teacher told
You
me I
know this
was.
shop is around the corner from my house.
Yes, should go to trash a place.
No, I'm gonna go and check if it said on the label for cheese 2 for 5 for
Listen,
clients.
that's the only way they can get out of it, but it's going to be in like titsy, like wee weeny print, and you can't fucking see it.
Okay,
2 for 5, it said. I was thinking, fucking yes.
we'll put this gripe in the
It's not even that
fridge.
good of a deal, like.
We'll put this gripe in the fridge or the freezer, and we'll get it out next week, and we'll eat it next week. Yep.
Listen, Barcelona people who listen to this podcast, and I know there are not many of you, but there are some. Let me know if you've had a similar experience where you think you're getting a bargain, you're all excited, you're thinking happy days. You go up there and you deal with the person that you're dealing with, the cashier, and the cashier says, "Oh, sorry, perdón, necesitas tarjeta cliente." See your tarjeta cliente. Stick up your fucking arse.
You should have gone and put it
That's my
back.
my gripe.
You should have said, "Oh, pardon, I'll put it back," and then go and put it back on the shelf, but accidentally put it in your pocket. That's what
That's
you should have
breaking the
done.
law. You know you know what I'm like when it comes to breaking the law. I'm a very law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
I fucking should have.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, we'll go back
listen.
there.
People might not sympathise with this who live in England and
Yeah.
Ireland, but
I'll steal you some cheese later. That shop's the only place where you can get toothpaste tomatoes. Tomato toothpaste. No. You know when you have tomatoes in a toothpaste.
oh, you mean tomato puree?
Yeah. It's the only place I found where you can get it in the toothpaste container.
It's not though. You
No?
can get it in Sorley.
Really?
You can, and I've told you this before.
Have you?
Yes,
You probably have.
you can get it in Sorley. Where else have I
like
gotten it?
I like that as well.
I've gotten a few places, but you don't get it in See, we do our big shop in Consum because
Mm.
it's cheap as fuck. It's like the equivalent of what would that be the equivalent of at home? Well, like in Ireland, it'd be the equivalent of like Aldi or something like
Yeah.
that. There. Aldi here is weirdly expensive though.
Yes, it's on brand here.
Yeah, it's
Aldi's on
weird.
brand.
Isn't it?
We do ours in Mercadona, but I'm starting to think it's cheaper in
Mercadona is cheap.
Consum. I think it's Consum's just as cheaper.
Here's the problem with Consum though: you don't get a big selection.
Yeah, this is it.
That's what I'm saying.
But the chicken in Mercadona is more expensive and smaller.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well.
But Consum's better option.
Well, this is it. Listen, I know that it's a very specific grape, and people might not resonate with that grape as much as they did last week.
We're going to put this gripe on ice.
I was raging.
We're going to put this gripe on ice. We're going to grice, and we're going to come back to it next week, and we're going to do a review. You may have to apologise to the unpronounceable shop community.
I'm not going to apologise to them because I think it's bollocks that you have that. Your shop is open to the public. The public are coming in. Not all of them. They could be from anywhere, and they're coming into your shop, and they're not necessarily a card carrying member. And you've got 2 for 5 in big bold letters. Now maybe in the small print.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they get you. But I think that's hoodwinkery.
Yeah.
I think it's hoodwinkery
Yeah,
of the highest
I
order.
don't think you explored sufficient options before you gave up.
I should have argued my case a bit
Should have
more.
argued a bit more. should have stolen it, should have faked a learning disability, should have done anything to get out of the situation where they were right. You
Maybe,
know,
but it was after work. I was tired. I was like, I just said there, listen,
yeah, I think this is
I'm
what
not taking two. I'll take one
I
then.
already knew it was after work and you were tired
Do you know
because
what I'm saying?
I suspect what's happened is that you've got a very binocular. You get binocular vision when you're tired. You do. You don't really pay attention to what's going on around on the outskirts of your vision. So I suspect you saw the labels cheese 2 for 5, and your brain took in that information and discarded the rest.
Andrea will tell you, I was delighted.
Yeah, I
I
bet
was
you were.
thinking, I'm getting two of these for
Michael,
the.
I'll get you some of that cheese this week with my 5 finger discount. We'll get hold of it.
Anyway, listen, it was a point of principle. The people may come back with something here.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Particularly, I'm looking at Oshin and Catherine because they're people from because that would never fly you can't be doing that in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be showing 2 for 5 and then when you get to the till, oh that's not 2 for 5 unless you're a exclusive member. What the fuck's going on
Yeah,
here? It's supposed to be a socialist country here.
it's a weird elitist rule.
Anyway, listen, come here.
Got
Give
some
me a
listeners' contributions, have we?
listeners contribute. Right. Hold on, let's
I
see.
think one of our listeners was ringing me then trying to get on the pod.
Listeners contributions. No. Listeners contributions. Now this one might have to be censored,
Okay,
right? But I'll
let's
see what you think.
let's take a swing.
Take a swing. So, well, actually, we've got three. All right. So we've got here a good friend of the pod,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Jeff is delighted that we've been so consistent recently. He's been replying to every story, clap emoji, fire emoji, please.
Excellent.
This
Our
right,
greatest fan.
and I posted last week's podcast on the gram there yesterday, and he said, please, podcast fans, photoshopped in the background, our loyal fans.
Tell
You
him
know
to.
our loyal listeners because we've got
Yeah,
at least 3 or 4 of them. We should get them superimposed
I can do
into the
that.
background
I can put
photos.
them. I can put them on a. Oh, I should have put them on a Succession
That's
thumbnail.
what he's. That's exactly the one. So he wants like, for example, like Jeff here, Catherine, Oshin,
Yeah, we can do that.
and that's it.
If anyone wants to be
Those three.
superimposed, if anyone wants to be superimposed to thumbnails, send me a picture. I'll cut your face out and I'll
Yeah.
put it on a thumbnail at some point in the future.
Okay, so here we go, Tom.
Yes.
Gonna give you this listener
Is
contribution.
this the one that might be naughty?
This listener has not requested to be autonomous. What's the word I'm looking for?
Anonymous.
Anonymous. I'm a wee bit drunk.
Yes, I can tell.
Right. Have you ever had a Have you ever had a close encounter with a real life pedo? And if not, where do you keep the cheese grater in the cupboard? Where do you keep the cheese grater? In the cupboard or with the knives and forks?
Oh,
And that's from long time listener, long time friend, long time tall Irish fella with
shall I bleep his name out?
this bleep it out.
Pass the cheese, please.
So have you ever had a close encounter with a pedophile?
I don't know really if I should talk about it. Your reward for signing up to the Patreon
Yeah.
will be the uncut version of my talking points on Madeleine McCann and me and Michael discussing the times.
Yes,
Do I have to edit
that has to
out?
go as well.
Fuck.
Right. What I imagine this is in a head. Hey, we
Jesus Christ.
we have encountered weird dudes in the past, uh, in strange scenarios, but we were never like.
As younger men, we had unfortunate incidents that were beyond our control,
yes,
but we resumed
doesn't-
control.
But yeah, exactly, and like we weren't like abused. Because
No,
my mom,
no,
listen, my mom watches this. If she
yeah,
thinks that, she's like, "What happened to you?" She'll panic
they
and
were.
think I was fucking abused. I was never abused by anyone.
We had
You know,
unfortunate encounters,
I had close
singular,
encounters.
yeah,
Close encounters
which were not
of the pedo
related.
kind. Different. Close encounters of the pedo kind.
Next question. What was it? Cheese grater.
We've both had close encounters of the pedo kind, but we have never been like, you know,
Pedoed.
like really badly
Diddled.
di- diddled.
It's the
I
softest way
think
to
that
say
can
it.
stay in. That last part can stay in. This is going to be a nightmare for you
We
to
have to
edit.
do multiple edits on this part, maybe
Okay.
one day this week. We had the question about
Thank you, contributor.
the question about the cheese grater.
We have two cheese graters. How many do you have?
Just one, dude.
We have like a handheld one and then the big box one. The box one goes with the pots, and the handheld one goes with the knives
Yeah,
and
of
forks.
course. But why have you got two?
Well, one's a small one just for little. The other one's a big heavy boy for. You know, people will understand.
Nah, I don't know about that. I keep mine with the jam jars.
Okay, Tom, we need to get through this podcast.
No
because
more
we've got things to do.
contributions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Yeah.
I'll double check whilst you answer this question.
Yes.
This is a contribution from a listener.
Oh, okay.
Top 5 TV series.
Hmm.
People want to know about our taste, Tom. They want to know: are we cool? Do we know what's good? Do we know what's not good? Get out of that, Jimmy.
Jerry, what are you up to?
Or are we? What's the word? What's the word for uncultured people that they used to say? Philistines. Are we Philistines? Or are we men of culture?
We are Philistines, but top 5. I mean, I think everyone has roughly the same top 5, mostly revolving around HBO, don't they? I'm trying to think of TV series that I've really enjoyed
Yes.
that perhaps listeners haven't seen.
Okay, that's not the question, but go for it.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm just going to say, Breaking
Generic?
Bad, Succession, all of those
No,
ones.
it's got to be in order of merit, in your opinion.
Well, number one's always going to be Band of Brothers because that's the one I've rewatched the most.
Good shout. I haven't seen it. I've seen like 3 or 4 episodes, but I have never watched
You'd
it.
hang on, my dog's in a plastic bag. Get out of the plastic bag!
Get out of it!
Get out! Get out of the plastic bag! Get out of there! Stop eating it! You're eating the mud. She's eating old compost. You're not a plant. Go and eat your normal food.
Band of Brothers, you reckon?
Band of Brothers, number one.
Okay. A lot of people would agree with that, I think, though.
I'd
Heard that.
put Succession probably around 2. I would put Succession at 2. I think Succession was almost perfect. No, I want to think of ones that people wouldn't have seen or people have missed, maybe.
Coronation Street?
Well,
Emmerdale?
okay, so there's a point. I think probably the best bit of TV writing and arguably screenwriting ever is the Who Shot Phil story arc in EastEnders.
EastEnders?
Fucking
that was
incredible.
epic television.
That was incredible. I remember that so much. Like,
that's a great shout.
and for years after, absolute years, like anyone who hasn't done this, if you're of our age and you still maybe go to parties with people you don't know, number one, grow up. But if you could travel back to maybe in your early 20s and you're going to parties where you didn't know too many people, the scatty parties, and you wanted to make friends, the best way to make friends with people our age you don't know is just say in the party, who remembers Who Shot Phil? Remember that storyline? And bang,
Everybody knows it.
Everyone will start to, and there you've
Man.
got 3/4 of an hour of friend making, bond forming conversation.
You're right.
Absolutely
You're
fantastic bit of
100%
writing.
right. That was a phenomenon, and that was before the internet was a huge thing. So
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
all
viral.
newspapers
It was
and-
viral before viral was possible.
Yeah, it was newspapers, magazines, conversation. Everybody was talking about Who Shot Phil.
EastEnders did that a couple of times. Like they did Ian Beale getting into drugs,
Yes,
which was funny.
Yes, which
And
is
the
a good one.
time Phil got drunk,
Phil became an alcoholic.
that was funny. But Who Shot Phil was in a league of its own. It was the
Ah.
Ebola of TV writing
It
world.
was. You're right, Con.
Mhm.
The Ebola of TV. It just spread around the culture, even in Ireland. Like we have to admit it. Like everybody was mad about EastEnders.
Yeah,
Who shot Phil?
and it's crazy when you think like
Phil Mitchell job.
they're turning out an episode. How is it
Phil and
twice?
Grant.
Phil and
Sorry,
Grant,
go
Phil
on.
and Grant Mitchell, yeah. They're turning out an episode, what, like twice a week of EastEnders or something.
And it was a pure drama.
Yeah, so
Gritty as
they're
fuck.
writing it as they go along, or they know the overarching thing, but they're writing the script. Compare that to Succession, where they take a year to write 8 episodes,
That's a good point.
and they've only written 4 seasons worth or something like that. And Who Shot Phil is storytelling, script writing on par with Succession. I'd say when you add up the numbers, Who Shot Phil laps Succession. Like it's that
Well,
much better.
I suppose it was quite a like. I suppose Succession might have a wider audience in the sense that it was an American audience as well, Canadian, and
Yeah,
I suppose. But like you are right, that was very compelling television. That
they should
EastEnders,
they
that
should HBO
era,
should look into just buying the rights just to that arc of
yeah,
EastEnders and remaking it with a decent budget. Get in Jesse Armstrong
yeah.
to do a bit of script editing. Get in, what's his name? The guy from
We
Guy with
should
the glasses.
before you continue, we should patent this conversation.
Fuck, we should do it. We should remake Who Shot Phil.
Well, we should, and it'd be very funny if we did.
But no, we'll
I'm
do it.
definitely Phil.
We'll do Siri. Yeah, you could be Phil. We'll wear a swimming cap. I'll CGI the rest of.
What do you call it? The Martin Kemp character? Do you remember Martin Kemp?
I'm Ben, his weird son.
Yeah. You know
I'll be Shirley.
but like that, as you say,
I've got a gun, Phil.
my God, if that was made into like a modern day like glossy HBO series that was set in, I suppose you could set it in Brooklyn or something like that there.
No,
or whatever.
you'll set it in Albert Square.
Oh fuck, that would be great.
But you just give it each episode a budget of a couple of million,
yeah,
make it an hour long, 6 or 7 months to shoot.
yeah.
Fantastic.
This guy's ideas.
And
Your brain.
just be
Your wonderful brain, Tom.
we should take it out and check it out.
We should. We should have a look. We should. If I give you enough, what's the thing that they put in you to make you not feel pain?
Ketamine.
Ketamine. If I give you enough ketamine, we'll open it up and we'll have a good look at it. A good poke around.
Put sticks in there.
See what's going on in that beautiful, beautiful brain.
The other TV series that two TV series that you might not have heard of that are really worth checking out are
Rosie and Jim.
Bored to Death. Rosie and Jim always.
Sorry.
Bored to Death, which is you'd love Bored to Death actually. It's about a man whose fiance splits up with him because he drinks too much white wine, and he lives alone in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And he gets bored, so he puts an ad on Craigslist saying that he's
Spit on the nose.
he puts an ad on Craigslist saying that he's a private detective, even though he has no experience. But he accidentally hideously undervalues himself, so he just gets stupid people asking
Okay.
him to solve like who stole my skateboard, and he solves mysteries.
Sorry to interrupt you. Ian is fucking yammering.
I know who's doing housework at 8 p.m. on a Friday.
There'll be trouble, boy.
We'll see.
Anyway, I think you got the message.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's this fella who's always who undervalues himself as a PI.
No, he's not a PI. He
He's not
never
a
was.
PI.
He's a writer, but to make ends meet, he starts putting his ad on Craigslist saying that he's a PI, but for like $50 an hour. So that's very good rates for a PI.
That
So
is good rates.
yeah, so he gets loads of people, like he's just doing bullshit detective work, but he has fun, and also he's always hanging out with his friend who's Zach Galifianakis, and Ted Danson is in it as well.
Ted Danson. Ted Danson.
Ted,
Remember that song?
Ted Danson's
Ted
really fucking cool
Danson,
in it.
That's cool, Tom. Do you want to hear mine?
Of course I do. Can you pass me another bit?
Mine's are probably going to be described as basic.
I hope you're going to put the HBs in yours, because I should have put the HBs in mine.
But listen, I'm going to be very, very sincere about mine, right?
Mhm.
Number one is a little TV show that nobody's ever heard of called The Wire. And if you haven't watched The Wire, what the fuck are you doing? I was one of those people that hadn't watched The Wire until last year,
Yeah.
and I watched The Wire with my girlfriend every last episode. and I have never enjoyed a television show as
Apparently,
much.
it's the best TV show of all time.
It is tremendous.
I couldn't get past season 1. I need
Yeah.
to. I need to try again.
You need to force yourself into it, delve into it, envelop it, let it envelop you. It is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So, The Wire, number 2, The Sopranos.
Good show.
Another TV show this fucking chump over here has never watched.
It's this. I've seen all HBO shows
I was
except that
about to
one.
start dissing your drip, but I'm not going to do that.
Please don't. I'm already dripping on my drip with this
The
condensation.
Sopranos is phenomenal television. You know, it's up there. It's almost fine for top spot with the Wire, but I think the Wire's just got something more to it. It's fucking hard to say though, but The Sopranos number 2, number 3, True Detective season 1.
Okay.
Not anything other than that. Not season 2. Is there a season 3? There might
There's
be
a
a season 3.
season 3 as well.
No
it's
interest
worth
in those.
watching,
I saw a bit of season 2 and I was like, no. Season 1 with McConaughey with his little book and his little
Woody House and
and his smoking,
yeah.
right? That and Woody Harrelson obviously. Who it turns out they might be brothers. Look into that. Apparently they might be half brothers.
Yeah, I've read that.
Yeah, like big chance that they could be half brothers. That series of television is just poetry in motion.
It's very
Wonderful storytelling.
One of the first.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. You've seen that.
They got one of the episodes where at the end they have like the 20-minute scene, like with no cuts, and it was one of the first TV shows to do that, like a continuous cut. And now it's very popular.
Art.
So cool.
What was my? Oh yeah. Okay. I have to give Breaking Bad its dues.
Yeah, Breaking Bad's
Breaking
great.
Bad needs its dues. It's kind of popular these days to say, oh, Breaking Bad. Blah. Breaking Bad's fucking lethal television.
It's very good.
Lethal. The first time I discovered Breaking Bad, it was by accident. It was a long time ago. I was living in an old country called Ireland, right?
Yes.
And I was a young pup, and I was flicking through the channels one night after coming back from the night out with a few jars on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 a.m. job. And I flicked upon the Irish language channel, TG Gahar, and they were showing Breaking Bad
in Irish
with the subtitles. But it was so compelling, the episode, like what was happening in the episode, because there was so much tension. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like, I've never seen this film before. I thought it was a film. I was like, I saw a great film last night, but I don't know what it was or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just ended. It ended on a cliffhanger, and then I figured out later on that, oh, that was Breaking Bad. I didn't realize. But I remember, like, holy shit, being totally struck by it. So Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
That's number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And number 5? Number 5, Succession, baby. I
Okay.
give Succession its dues. I love Succession. I think Succession is fantastic, but you know yourself, if you've watched those through, Succession is amazing drama and comedy and all that, but it I don't think it can quite get to the levels of The Wire, for example.
Yeah.
Or The Sopranos, or even Breaking Bad. It's almost there though. It's a
Mm.
great show.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's that. Thank you for that contribution, listener.
That was a great contribution.
Anonymous
Great question.
listener again. People often want to be anonymous on our show.
I can imagine why. They don't want their names you know, imagine you're applying for a job in the future and ChatGPT flags your name up in association with this.
It's possible, eh?
Mm.
Okay, here I have summer holidays.
What's that mean?
Summer holidays.
Oh, well, as I've told you, there could be a gap in my... Sorry, I'm having an allergic reaction to something. There could be a gap in my...
AIDS? You've got AIDS again, is it?
No, what it is, I've been eating the fruit from this kumquat tree.
Kumquat.
And
Kumquatitis.
it's delicious, but apparently citrus fruits, if you eat the peel, can cause skin rash. And I've got skin rashes on my fingers and on the insides of my elbows. But then I get them anyway. I think it's the vaccine, probably.
The vaccine. It's the vaccine. We told you, people. Did they listen?
No, they didn't. My
Anyway,
summer holidays plans. Summer holiday. Well, we're going to do our lads tour. It's possibly looking like we might be going to Portsmouth now.
we are at the end of August.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and hopefully I get August off.
Sorry, the reason why I'm looking at my phone
Are we
is
getting
that
told to come
a
out?
friend and associate of the podcast is waiting for us.
Send him to the Dorsia. Tell him to get a table at the Dorsia.
Meet at the Dorsia,
Yeah.
which is a very fancy restaurant in the neighborhood where we live.
I know the
Concierge.
concierge,
Tom knows the concierge.
the MC.
He knows the MC as well. Is there an MC in the Dorsia?
What's the person who seats you in a restaurant called?
The concierge, no concierge. The front of house person.
Yeah, I know the front of house guy, and I can
Tom's
get
very familiar with him.
so I can get a res on a Friday night. But it's a hot spot. The sea urchin ceviche is to die for.
Sea urchin ceviche.
Yeah, send him to the Dorsia. Tell him
I'll
we'll
say
be.
meet at the Dorsia Gracia,
Yeah,
and
the
he'll
Gracia
know where
Ranch.
that is.
Yeah, tell him we'll be 10 minutes.
Gracia in 10 minutes. Just wrapping up our really cool, interesting, and highly lucrative podcast.
Yeah, we're both on our phones
Goodness.
during the
See
podcast.
you soon. Please send nudes. Sorry. Did I say that out loud? Oh dear. I won't say that.
Yeah, skip
Anyway,
that bit.
so he's going to meet us at the exclusive restaurant. People don't realize the lifestyle we live over here.
It's a crazy
We're
lifestyle.
very fancy men. Very, very fancy boys. Anyway, what was it we were talking about? Summer holidays.
Summer holidays.
We're
Yeah.
going to Portsmouth.
Do you want to go?
Yes.
I can hook us up at my mum's house,
Hook us up, baby boy.
and we can get some tickets.
Hook me up and hang me from the ceiling.
I think that could be.
I'll
That
put a
could be
gimp
good.
mask on my face because I'm ready to rock.
There's rich history in Portsmouth.
Is there?
D-Day Museum, a
100%.
castle. There's a castle. Actually, in the castle, Southsea Castle, is part of the festival we're in. It gets transformed into a giant champagne bar.
What?
Yeah,
A champagne bar?
yeah. It's like so.
Yes.
Portsmouth's an island, and right at the tip of the island, there's a castle built by King Henry VIII,
Ah.
and it's very nice to walk around. But during this festival, it just becomes a champagne bar.
I'm up for that.
Yeah.
I'm delighted to go to Portsmouth. And you were saying that your mammy might provide us with a bed
Yes.
in Moon Manor,
Yeah. In
Moon
the
Manor.
in the old estate. Yeah.
the old estate.
Mhm.
The old estate will be opened up to
Yeah. Or
to
we
people
we can get a bunch of tents out and sleep in the grounds.
on the grounds of Moon Manor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will there be service? Will there be?
Yeah.
will there
Service
be-
included. Service included.
I said about that the better.
Okay.
Okay. No, 100%. I think this is a great idea.
Yeah.
And I'm up for this.
I'll sort it out.
I've got plans for the end of July, but I have no plans for the end of
Well,
August.
you haven't told me about your plans for the end of July.
Well, my family are coming. A lot of my family are coming to visit.
Oh, okay. So
And
it's plans here.
Yes. So they're
So
going
I'm
to
included.
spend 3 days in Barcelona,
Mhm.
and then we're all going to spend 3 days together on the Costa Brava
Okay.
in a Airbnb that I just booked today
Yeah.
with a pool and all that kind of shit.
And when we're in the Costa Brava, will we be sharing a room, or do I have to sleep separately from you?
I mean, it sleeps 8. Sorry, it sleeps 10, but there's going to be like 8 of us plus like. We'll see. You could maybe.
no. Well, no,
you and I
no,
could
no,
maybe.
no, no,
It
no.
could happen. Jimmy,
Yeah.
Jimmeroni.
Jamboree.
But yeah, but like I finish at my holidays start early in July, like so I'm gonna have a wee bit of free time. But I myself and my partner, my
You
girlfriend,
said her name a minute ago, so don't worry about it.
my female partner, because I obviously have a male partner. uh, we are going to have a holiday too, but we haven't booked anything yet.
Mm.
We'll probably do something in Spain, I think.
We're doing a big one in Mexico towards
Mexico,
the end of
that's right,
October,
yeah.
so it looks like it's going to be another sweaty couple of months.
Mm.
Stuck in the house. Well, stuck in Barcelona.
Well, we'll
But I'm
make
not
the best of
complaining.
it. we'll go to the beach. We'll dip in the water.
If I get that August off, we're going to go to the beach every day.
100%.
I'm going to look like a fucking leather handbag by the time August ends.
The only other the only other thing we had on the list to talk about were listeners' requests, but we already talked about listeners' requests, and the listeners' requests were
Get some structure.
get some structure, an introduction and an outro, and Jeff wants to be superimposed onto the artwork.
I can do that.
Not just Jeff, but some of our loyal listeners.
Yeah, we can do that.
People who really love the podcast. Dana, for example. We'll get Dana involved on the super. That was a joke.
Yeah,
Dana
I'd be surprised if Dana
she
has
would be
ever made it this far.
disgusted if
Yeah.
she was ever used on this podcast.
I think it's a violation of her human rights if we put her there. She might lose her job.
So maybe we'll stick Jeff. He's a big podcast boy, big podcast fan. Can we end on this note?
Yeah, let's end on this note because we need to go to the door here.
Is this going to be the most difficult edit you've ever done?
No, the one where
Top
we
3?
called out Madeleine McCann was bad, and the one where we accused a lot of people of being paedophiles was bad. But this might be in the top 3.
This might be in the top 3
Yeah.
because I don't know if people are aware, but I've had a couple of no, that's not the word I was looking for. I've had a couple of shandies.
Were you gonna say hand shandies?
I was. That would have been a mistake.
I'm not cutting that out. I'm not cutting that out at all. That's staying in 100%. Is that what's called a Freudian slip?
Perhaps.
Freudian slag.
And on that note, good luck. Look after yourselves. Take care. And be brave. Because we've got each other. And when we have each other, we can take on the world. Right?
Yes. Good night,
Yeah.
viewers. I'm going to put Michael to bed, and
Good luck.
that'll be it.
Adios.